Hi everybody, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the brand new McFarlane Toys Elite Edition Image Comics Founders Spawn figure. So before we take a look at Spawn, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with his card here, a nice shot of the Spawn #1 cover right there. That is one of the coolest covers of all time. And on the back, if you want to read that, that is just a bio of Todd McFarlane. Now this does come with Elite Edition points, but I wasn't able to redeem mine, because technically this isn't supposed to be out yet, so I assume the points haven't gone live. I don't know if it's just mine or not, but yeah, the points would not work for me. Up next, he comes with his base. He's been standing on it since the beginning of the review, and this looks really good. It's got some nice sculpt detail and a nice black wash to it. I'm glad that for this figure we get a brand new base. Up next, he comes with these chains that plug into his back there. And I wish these would have been wired. They kind of just always hang back here. I mean, they do look cool, but I'm probably going to wire them. That way they can be posed around and look even cooler. Up next, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with a set of open hands. And this left hand in particular looks like it's straight from the cover of issue #1. I like how they sculpted it to look exactly like that. Up next, he comes with this left accessory holding hand, and this hand is for his effect piece. I definitely wish this would have been able to hold the accessory, especially since the first Spawn figure we got, the weapon did go in his right hand. Up next, he comes with his weapon just like the very first figure of him came with, the board with the nail through it, or the spike through it. And that looks really good. The sculpt detail is very awesome to that. As I said, he has a really tight grip on this in his left hand, which you can kind of fit it in his right, but it's kind of loose. You just have to kind of fiddle with it. And it'll stay, but if you pose it around too much, it's just going to fall out of his hand. Up next, he comes with this necroplasm effect, again looking like it's straight off the cover to issue 1. And this looks really good. It's cast in translucent green plastic and has some dark green paint over top of it. I definitely hope that McFarlane Toys reuses this for some other figures. You know, I'm not really super happy with some of the effects we've got from DC Multiverse. I think these would be really good for Starfire as well. I think you could definitely use this for other figures that McFarlane has made too. And finally, he comes with his alternate hamburger head. And man, this is detailed really nicely. I love the black wash you get over top of the rotting skin there. You can see some of his muscles done. I think it should have been a darker color. It's this very bright pink. But that's sculpted really good. And of course, this is the version that has the shoelace stitching up his head. Man, that looks really awesome. I love this alternate head sculpt. Now, it is weird because McFarlane Toys did cut a few things out of this figure. So it was supposed to come with 2 other head sculpts, an armband, and then his big boot, an interchangeable big boot. Not sure why they changed that. They might be doing a second version. Or maybe no, I don't think there's a platinum. Or at least if there is, I haven't seen anyone finding it. But yeah, it is weird that they cut out some accessories from this release. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at his regular head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a really awesome job with this. This is a brand new head sculpt, and I think it really looks like the cover to issue 1 of Spawn. That's just really awesome looking head sculpt. You can see how he's kind of scowling underneath the suit here. I think that's really cool that you can actually see some sculpted details there. So that's pretty awesome. Now, I also like the collar too. It's not wired, but it looks like it's right off the cover of issue #1. My problem is it lays a little bit too close to his head, so I'm probably going to tack it, sew it on each side. That way it's down just a little bit. I think that'll fix my complaint with that. Now, they did do some paint to it, like some, I don't know if that's like airbrushing or what they did, but it actually has some black over top of it, making it look worn, and I really like that. This part back here is supposed to look like the first Spawn figure from Series 1. And I think it does. They just put wire in it and you kind of have to fiddle with it. I might also sew it down, because if you have it right here, it looks fine. But it does tend to bunch up a lot. I've worked with the wire and kind of got it posed right. I think it lays a little bit better now. But yeah, you definitely have to fiddle with the wire here underneath the collar to get it to lay right. The biggest flaw for me with this cape, other than this coming just a little bit too close to his head, is the horrible flimsy wire that they used for the sides of the cape here. So it's not joined, so whenever you try to pose it, it'll just flop and fall like that. The wire runs from here to here, and then that's it. It should have ran all the way, all the way around here. I'm sure they probably could have found a way to just run the wire from here, around the collar, and then down the other side. Which that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm going to rewire this because I don't like this wire at all. I think the cape actually looks much better in person than the promo pics did it justice for. But yeah, I hate this flimsy wire. You really can't do anything with it. As you can see, it's just wanting to flop. It doesn't even want to pose. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to rewire this after the video. Another complaint I have is I feel like they tried to make it look tattered on the bottom, and it's a little bit too perfect. I just don't like the way that looks. I'm probably going to tatter the bottom here, making it look a little worn. I think that'll look a lot better. Like I said, the cape is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. I have my nitpicks with it. Once I fix those, though, I think this will honestly be a perfect figure. I was really surprised that they did that black paint over top of it. And that actually looks really good. It looks very nice in person. Like I said, it makes it look very worn, kind of dirty. So that actually does look really good. But yeah, I do have my complaints with this cape. I'm not sure if this is a new body mold or not for Spawn. Someone said that this was a reuse from the Shadow of Spawn figure for the Mortal Kombat line, but that's one Spawn figure I actually don't have, so I can't confirm if that's true or not. But this actually has some really good sculpt and paint detail to it. I like how they added a black wash to all of the red parts. I think that looks really good. Though I do feel like this, I can't really tell because it's hard for me to differentiate shades. But I feel like this and this are two different colors. My eyes don't pick up colors that well, so I might be wrong, but I feel like these are two different colors. Aside from that, though, I really do love that they did the black wash over the red parts. I think that gives it some variation, and it just makes the details pop. He, of course, has his spikes, and these are actually pretty sharp. They actually leave an indentation in your hand when you're switching the right hand out. So when you're switching that out, definitely be careful. I'm also really happy that this figure uses real chains for the belt right here. That looks phenomenal. Now, I do get a little bit of scuffage right here, and that was actually my fault. So I didn't realize that when I opened it, the diaper piece was underneath the thigh joint right here. So when I was moving it, I was scuffing it up. So I had to take it and pry it out from under there. So when you get this figure, definitely be careful of that, because I was just posing it around like crazy, and I was rubbing all of the paint off right there. So you can see it's actually cast in red material. I also like how all the black parts of his suit are textured. You've got a texture that runs all over the black parts of the suit. And I think that looks really good. They painted the touches of silver on the pouches, which makes me happy. Now this down here is very spiky. You can see the places it's leaving in my fingers. I like that on each of these segments it's textured really nicely, and it also has a black wash. I thought maybe it was going to be removable, like maybe I could remove his foot and I could pop it off, but no, you can't. So if you're wanting to customize him to have the big boot, it might be possible if you heat it up, but it's definitely glued down. Here is the back of the figure, and I did forget to mention, on the arches right here, these are actually sculpted and painted on. From the promo pictures, I thought it was just painted on, but no, you can actually feel where they sculpted that on, so that's really cool. The sculpt detail even goes all the way to the back right here. All of the paint came out pretty crisp on this, I think. You get a continued black wash to the red parts. Even the back is painted really nicely. You get the chain right here on the back of his right bicep. Mine does have this like weird mark in the plastic. It's like a weird swirl. So that's kind of odd. Maybe it's just the way the figure came out. I also see it back here as well. You really can't see it unless you have it in the light, but you can see that slight swirl that's a different color right here and here. So now, let's go ahead and go over Spawn's articulation. So he has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can't look down at all. He can move his head side to side. He has shoulders that can move out all the way. Butterfly joints that can spin around very nicely. He has a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows that can just about bend in all the way. The spike does hit on the forearm right there. On the left side, he can bend in all the way. He has wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist that moves back very slight. That's my second complaint with the figure, as the articulation right here is pretty hindered. And if you watch my McFarlane Avatar figures review, I really wish that they'd start putting those kind of joints on the other figures. I think it's because they fill the joint around where the ball peg goes in, and it wasn't like that on the Avatar figures. It was actually hollow around the joint, so you had some really good range of motion on those. But yeah, on the Spawn and DC Multiverse figures, they're pretty hindered. He can barely move side to side up here. He can move side to side at the waist. Feels pretty stiff though. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward very far. He can kick back all the way. He has a little bit of a thigh swivel. Let's move this cape here, it's getting in my way. He has double jointed knees. Now this top joint on both sides does feel pretty stiff, but they can move back that far. He has ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, spin all the way around, and to articulation that can move up that far. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the I-10 Spawn figure. This is still the best articulated Spawn figure in my opinion. He's very fragile though, so I don't like posing him around too much. I just like leaving him in kind of a vanilla pose, that way he doesn't break. Here he is next to the classic Kickstarter Spawn figure. Here he is next to the new Spawn that came with the throne. This one has the Max Bird cape on it. Here he is next to the Todd Father. And finally, here he is next to the Rat City Deviant. So overall, I can say that I'm pretty happy with this Spawn Elite Edition figure. I like that we got a new version of the classic Spawn, and I love how this one looks exactly like the cover to issue number 1. I think he looks phenomenal. He has some really good sculpt detail, we get a bunch of really cool accessories, and he comes with real chains, which I absolutely love. I also think the cape is decent. You know, it just needs a few tweaks. Like I said, I'm probably going to sew the collar down, that way it doesn't hug his face, and I'm going to rewire the cape. Like I said, you can tell how flimsy this wire is, and it doesn't connect anywhere, so it just kind of flops. So, that's really my biggest complaint with the figure. Also, I'm probably going to tatter the bottom. But that's really easy for me to fix. Other than those gripes that I have with the figure, I do really like it. I did give a little bit much for this because I ordered it straight from the McFarlane toy store, but it's actually showing up in Walmart stores now, and I think it's actually $10 less in Walmart if you can find it there. Mine hasn't got McFarlane in ages, so I don't know if it's going to be everywhere, but if you're looking for this, definitely keep an eye out at Walmart since it's going to be cheaper there. So despite the gripes that I did have with this figure, I still think it's really cool and I'm happy that I picked it up. I just think it's a really awesome figure, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the Image Comics Founders Elite Edition figures, particularly Savage Dragon and Witchblade. Those two characters haven't had figures in ages, so I'm really excited to see what McFarlane does with those. I'm also curious to see if we'll get another Elite Edition Spawn, maybe one that will actually include the boot. I wonder if that's something we'll see in the future as well. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.